3 words almost ended a legacy before it started. Reality is coming. That's what Diana Taurasi told the world when she was asked about Caitlin Clark entering the WNBA. And honestly, at the time, nobody could really argue with her. Taurasi said it on SportsCenter, "Reality is coming. There's levels to this thing, and that's just life. We all went through it. You look superhuman playing against 8-year-olds, but you're gonna come with some grown women that have been playing professional basketball for a long time." The quote went everywhere. Every sports account, every podcast, every debate show. And the message was clear. Sit down, little girl, and wait your turn. But here's the thing nobody saw coming. But Caitlin Clark didn't wait. She didn't ease in. She didn't bow to the old guard. She walked into the most pressure-filled environment a WNBA rookie has ever faced and turned the entire league upside down. What happened between Clark and Taurasi over the next year is one of the wildest arcs in modern basketball. It involves records being shattered, egos being checked, a full-circle moment nobody expected, and a retirement speech that made the whole thing come together in the most poetic way possible. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video. And by the end, it wasn't Taurasi's words that people remembered. It was Clark's game. Let's break it all down. Naktara, to understand why those 3 words hit so hard, you need to understand who said them. Diana Taurasi wasn't just any player running her mouth. She was an 1-time WNBA All-Star who spent her entire 20-year career with the Phoenix Mercury and the only player in WNBA history to reach 10,000 career points. That's not a stat you just stumble into. That's 2 decades of dominance in a league that chews through talent faster than most people realize. The 42-year-old won her 6th Olympic gold medal at the Paris Games and finished her WNBA career with 10,646 points, nearly 3,000 more than second-place Tina Charles. She also won 6 EuroLeague championships while playing year-round for most of her career. Think about that gap. 3,000 points. That's like winning the scoring title and still having another MVP-caliber career stacked on top. Her college resume was just as ridiculous. After UConn fell short in the Final Four her freshman year, losing to Notre Dame in a heartbreaking game, Taurasi said, "We will not lose another tournament game while I'm wearing this uniform." She was indeed correct. The Huskies went on to win 3 consecutive national championships. That's not confidence, that's prophecy. Her team posted an incredible 139-8 record during her time at UConn. Before one of those title games, Coach Gino Auriemma didn't bother drawing up some elaborate game plan. He simply told the media that they had Diana and the other team didn't. That was the scouting report. That was the strategy. Have the best player on the planet and let her work. She was the 2009 WNBA MVP and is one of 4 players to earn WNBA Finals MVP honors more than once. She led the Mercury to 3 WNBA titles, Team USA to 6 Olympic gold medals, and her college team to 3 NCAA championships. That kind of resume doesn't just earn respect, it builds a fortress around it. So when Taurasi looked into that camera and said, "Reality is coming," she wasn't trash-talking. She was speaking from a place of earned authority that very few athletes in any sport can claim. And every young player who entered the WNBA before Clark, they listened, they waited, they gave their respect to the throne first and asked questions later. But the kid from Des Moines had different plans. Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA draft. She crashed into it like a comet. She's an American professional basketball player for the Indiana Fever. Regarded as one of the greatest female collegiate players, Clark was twice named National College Basketball Player of the Year while playing for the Iowa Hawkeyes. She remains the NCAA Division I all-time leading scorer. Known for her shooting range, playmaking, and flair, she has helped popularize women's basketball, a phenomenon dubbed the Caitlin Clark effect. all time. Not women's all time, not Big Ten all time across the board. On the 15th of April 2024, Clark was selected as the first overall pick of the 2024 WNBA draft by the Indiana Fever. When her name was called, she looked like she already belonged. But the league had different ideas about how fast she'd settle in. Her debut told two very different stories at the same time. Clark played her first regular season game on May 14, scoring 20 points in a 92-71 loss to the Connecticut Sunday. She also committed 10 turnovers, the most in a debut in WNBA history. 20 points said the talent was undeniable. 10 turnovers said the adjustment was real. And for Taurasi's supporters, those turnovers were proof. See, we told you, reality hit. But what people missed in the noise was how quickly Clark started adapting. She wasn't shrinking. She wasn't confused. She was recalibrating, and she was doing it faster than any rookie in recent memory. The early struggles gave the doubters ammunition, sure, and the veterans took every chance to pile on. Clark addressed the physicality head-on. I think everybody is physical with me. They get away with things that probably other people don't get away with. It's tough, but that's just the fact of the matter. This is a very physical game, and you're going to get pressure. This is professional basketball. It is what it is, honestly. No complaints, no excuses, just cold acknowledgement and a look in her eyes that said she wasn't going anywhere. Meanwhile, when reporters asked Taurasi about the backlash to her "reality is coming" comment, she didn't soften the blow. She leaned in harder, calling the new fans really sensitive and comparing Clark's transition to going from kindergarten to first grade. That comparison only made the eventual showdown between them feel more inevitable. The entire basketball world was counting down the days until these two would share a court, and when that night finally came, the atmosphere was unlike anything the WNBA had seen in years. Phoenix wanted the smoke, and they marketed it like a pay-per-view event. The Mercury marketed the game as the GOAT versus the Rook. One, a 42-year-old legend who has won 3 WNBA titles and 5 Olympic gold medals. The other, a 2-year-old, playing for the first time in Phoenix. The hype was deafening. Social media was on fire. Every basketball podcast in the country had an opinion. The Footprint Center was electric before tip-off even happened. Fever supporters made up a decent-sized portion of the sellout crowd of 17,071 at Footprint Center. That alone tells you the magnitude of what Clark had already done. She was filling up arenas on the road, in someone else's building, in someone else's city. The 88-82 Fever victory had 1.9 million viewers, the second most watched WNBA game on ESPN ever. This wasn't just a regular season game. It was a referendum. It was the old guard versus the new blood, and every eyeball in the sports world was locked in. Clark tried to keep it cool before the game. She told reporters it was a dream come true to face Taurasi, called her one of the greatest players the game has ever seen, said she grew up idolizing her. But make no mistake, Clark didn't walk in there looking to pay homage. She walked in looking to win. And the game itself, it was a war. Despite the Fever falling behind 17-4 to open the game, trailing by 11 at halftime, and being down as much as 15 inches the second half, the Fever sent their fans home happy, 17-4. 15 points down, on the road, against the greatest scorer the league has ever produced. Most rookies would have folded right there. Most veterans would have started playing it safe. Clark just kept pushing. Keep in mind, she was back from a migraine and being pressured hard by Phoenix's defense. She wasn't even at full strength. But it didn't matter. Something shifted in that second half. The Fever started clawing back. The crowd noise started changing. The momentum swung hard. And suddenly, Phoenix looked like the team that was rattled. In the fourth quarter, With Indiana clinging to a 1-point lead, Clark knocked down 2 free throws with 19 seconds left to seal a win for the Fever. Ice, cold, and what happened after the buzzer shocked everyone even more. On the surface, it looked like Taurasi actually outscored Clark. Taurasi scored 19 points. Clark collected 15, and the casual fans ran with that immediately. See, Taurasi still cooked her. But basketball has never been just about points. And the full stat line exposed the real narrative. Clark scored 15 points and added 12 assists and 9 rebounds. She finished 1 rebound short of what would have been the first triple-double by a WNBA rookie. 1 rebound. That's all that separated her from making history in the most symbolic game of the season. While Clark's shot .414 wasn't falling, she made an impact with her playmaking 12 assists and on the glass 9 rebounds, playing nearly the full 40 minutes while battling an illness. 12 assists means she was orchestrating everything. She wasn't just scoring, she was making everyone around her better, even when her own shot wasn't cooperating. That's the difference between a scorer and a floor general. Clark proved she was the latter before she even finished her rookie year. Meanwhile, the Fever won the rebounding battle 42-28. Phoenix got physically dominated on the boards. The narrative that this was going to be grown women teaching the rookie a lesson got flipped on its head. The Fever wanted it more and played like it. The whole team rallied behind Clark's energy, and it showed on every single possession in the second half. Soon after the game, the Fever's social media team earned a W with a post on X at the expense of Taurasi and the Mercury. 2 words: reality check. A direct callback to Taurasi's infamous preseason prediction. The internet exploded. Screenshots went viral. Fans were tagging Taurasi in everything. It was the kind of petty, beautiful sports moment that lives forever. But here's the part nobody talks about enough. There was nothing but smiles between 2 of women's basketball's most recognizable faces. They hugged before the game, exchanging a laugh before the opening tip. In the first half, they met near center court during a break in the action, talking for over a minute before play resumed. Despite the fire online and the media narrative, there was genuine respect between these 2 from the jump. The beef was mostly manufactured. The competition was real, and the results spoke louder than any quote ever could. What Taurasi said after the game changed the entire tone of the conversation. Nobody expected it. After all the jabs, the kindergarten comparisons, the icy pre-game interviews, Taurasi walked up to a microphone and gave Clark one of the most genuine endorsements a veteran has ever given a rookie. It's amazing what Caitlin's been able to do in her short career so far. It's just been nothing short of remarkable. The one thing that I really love about her, she loves the game. You can tell she's put the work in. Even throughout her short WNBA career, it's been a lot of pressure, a lot of things thrown at her, and she keeps showing up and keeps getting better every single game. No backhanded compliment, no qualifiers, just straight respect from the greatest scorer in league history. So her future is super bright, and being a veteran and being in this league for a long, long time, it is pretty cool to see that and go into the future. That last line hit different. Taurasi wasn't just complimenting Clark. She was acknowledging the shift. She was saying, in her own way, that the torch was being passed, whether people were ready for it or not. As little as Taurasi had to say about Clark before the game, she had plenty to say after. That contrast tells you everything. Before tip-off, the legend was guarded, dismissive, almost annoyed by the constant Clark questions. After the buzzer, something changed. She saw it with her own eyes. Not the highlights, not the hype. The real thing. The control. The poise under pressure. The way Clark made everyone around her better, even when her own shot was off. That's what earned Taurasi's respect. Not the fame, not the followers, not the noise, the basketball. Clark was built for this. At 22, she had the maturity of a decades-long pro, batting away loaded questions as effortlessly as she did jump shots. Clark didn't skip the post-game press conference to celebrate. She didn't come to the post-game news conference because she wasn't feeling well. She was still dealing with the migraine, still putting the team first, still built different. And the basketball world was starting to figure that out. But the Phoenix game? That was just the appetizer. What came next made it look small by comparison. If the Phoenix game was the statement, the rest of the season was the exclamation point, in bold, underlined, all caps. Caitlin Clark averaged 19.2 points, 8.4 assists, and 5.7 rebounds in 40 games in her rookie season in 2024. She was selected to play in her first All-Star game and won the Rookie of the Year award. But those numbers only scratch the surface. Clark set a single-season record with 337 assists, made the second most three-pointers in a season in WNBA history with 122, set a single-season record for points as a rookie with 769, and was the first rookie to record a triple-double. Read that again. The single-season assist record wasn't a rookie record. It was the all-time record. Every player, every era, every legend, whoever suited up, Clark topped them all in her first year. She became the first WNBA rookie and the first Fever player ever to record a triple-double, registering 19 points, 12 rebounds, and 13 assists in a victory over the New York Liberty. She scored 24 points and set the WNBA single-game assists record with 19, passing Courtney Vandersloot in a game against the Dallas Wings. She scored or assisted on 66 points, breaking Diana Taurasi's mark from 2006 for points produced in a game. Let that sink in. She broke Taurasi's own record. The same player who told her reality is coming watched her name get replaced in the record books by the woman she tried to humble. The rookie phenom was controversially left off the U.S. Olympic team. Rumors and reports suggest it was a combination of roster politics and the belief that she needed more development. But here's what's wild. Instead of sulking, Clark came back from that Olympic break and turned into a completely different animal. Clark was particularly effective after the league's month-long break, averaging 23.1 points, 8.9 assists, and 5.4 rebounds on 43, 5 over 37, 0 over 92, 9 shooting splits across the final 14 games of the regular season. Clark led the Fever to a 110-109 victory over the Dallas Wings. She scored a career-high 35 points to break the WNBA single-season rookie scoring record set by Simone Augustus in 2006. Perhaps even more impressively, that win allowed the Fever to clinch the number 6 seed in the 2024 playoffs, ending the franchise's 7-year postseason drought. 7 years without the playoffs. Clark ended that drought in her first season. The reality Taurasi promised had arrived, all right, just not the way she expected. What Clark was doing off the court was just as unprecedented as what she was doing on it. Nike's signature launch is tied to Clark's 8-year, $28 million endorsement contract signed in 2024. $28 million for a women's basketball player from the biggest sports brand on the planet. That deal alone rewrote the rules for what's possible in women's athletics. According to industry leaks, Clark's first signature model, the CC1, is set to launch during the holiday 2026 season. At $140, the CC1 would be the most expensive debut signature shoe from a WNBA athlete. More expensive than Aja Wilson's, more expensive than Sabrina Ionescu's, more expensive than Angel Reese's Reebok deal. Nike isn't just betting on Clark. They're betting that she transcends basketball entirely. Despite earning just over $100,000 in WNBA salary, she pulled in an estimated $16.1 million in 2025, with most coming from endorsements. Let that gap hit you. $100,000 from the league, 16 million from everything else. That's not just star power. That's a cultural phenomenon operating on a completely different financial plane than anyone the WNBA has ever produced. And the collectibles market went absolutely insane. An autographed Clark rookie WNBA card was sold for $366,000, surpassing a card of tennis player Serena Williams to become the most expensive women's sports card in history. Later that year, another Clark card was sold for $660,000, again breaking the record. $660,000 for a single card of a player who just finished her rookie year. That's not fandom. That's investment-level belief in where her career is heading. The average number of fans attending Fever home games in 2024 was 17,035, an all-time WNBA record for any team. The league's attendance data this season was the best example of a rising tide lifts all boats. While the Fever took a monumental leap from the WNBA's second-worst 4,067 fans per home game in Riley's 2023, every single team's attendance improved in 2024. Overall, average league-wide attendance was the highest it had been since 1999, from 4,000 to 17,000. That's not growth. That's a revolution. And it was all orbiting around one person. The brands noticed. The league noticed. And Diana Taurasi definitely noticed. Because what Clark was building wasn't just a career. It was a new center of gravity for the entire sport. And when Taurasi finally stepped away from the game, what she said made the whole story come full circle. On February 25th, 2025, the greatest scorer in WNBA history hung it up. Diana Taurasi is retiring after 20 seasons, ending one of the greatest careers in women's basketball history. The WNBA's career scoring leader and a three-time league champion, Taurasi announced her retirement in an interview with Time magazine. The Phoenix Mercury, the only WNBA team she played for, also confirmed her decision. Her words were simple, honest, and carried 20 years of weight behind them. Mentally and physically, I'm just full, Taurasi told Time. That's probably the best way I can describe it. I'm full and I'm happy. No bitterness, no drama, just a warrior who had given every ounce of herself to the sport and knew it was time to rest. Now, the league's biggest young star, Caitlin Clark, is a 2-3-year-old who once considered Taurasi her idol. Shortly after news broke, Clark posted news of Taurasi's retirement on her Instagram with a one-word caption: legend. One word, no essay, no lengthy tribute thread, just legend. And that simplicity said more than 1,000 words could. But the real moment, the one that made the entire internet lose its collective mind, came a few weeks later. Clark was a featured guest on ESPN's Bird and Taurasi show during the 2025 NCAA National Championship. And at one point during their discussion, Taurasi called back to her infamous comment in a hilarious way. When Clark congratulated Taurasi on her retirement, Taurasi looked at her, smiled, and said it. "Thank you. Unfortunately, reality is coming to me now." This caught both Clark and Sue Bird off guard as they both burst out in laughter. That right there is the most satisfying callback in sports history. The same three words that once carried skepticism, doubt, and maybe a little bit of ego flipped completely on their head by the very person who said them. Taurasi deserves a lot of respect for being humble enough to call back to this infamous moment. Most legends would never admit they were wrong. Most veterans would quietly pretend they always believed. Taurasi owned it. She ate it. She laughed about it. Clark went on to produce one of the best rookie seasons in WNBA history and immediately became one of the league's best players, essentially proving Taurasi completely wrong. Taurasi has since shown Clark a ton of respect, and there's clearly no bad blood between them. What started as tension ended as mutual admiration. What began with doubt ended with a passing of the torch. And what Taurasi said next proved this was never really about rivalry at all. This was never really about Clark versus Taurasi. It was about time. It was about what happens when one era meets another, and neither one flinches. Taurasi leaves the WNBA as perhaps the most decorated player in the history of women's basketball. MVP in 2009, All-Star 11 times, 3 WNBA titles, 6 Olympic gold medals, and 3 NCAA championships. She didn't just play in the league. She was the league. For 20 years, she built the road. She fought for every inch of respect the sport has today. Clark was named WNBA Rookie of the Year, receiving 66 of 67 votes. She became the first rookie since Candace Parker in 2008 to make the All-WNBA first team. In December 2024, Clark was named Athlete of the Year by Time Magazine and Female Athlete of the Year by the AP. And she's just getting started. Taurasi built the throne. Clark didn't knock it over. She expanded the kingdom. The question now isn't whether Caitlin Clark belongs. That debate is long dead. The question is how far she can take this thing. And if her first year is any indication, the answer might be further than anyone, even Diana Taurasi, ever imagined. Reality isn't coming anymore. It's already here. Stay locked in with my channel Simply Explained, your home for the truth behind the WNBA headlines.